Plaintiff Jackie Hart says her husband dated the defendant and they have a 12-year-old son together. Jackie claims she and her husband, who's with her in court today, have custody of the child because the defendant allowed him to miss 45 days of school and neglected to take him to the doctor. Jackie's suing her husband's ex for the value of missing jewelry. Defendant Joy Moore says the only reason her ex married Jackie is because she refused to take him back. Joy insists Jackie's husband tried unsuccessfully to reconcile with her, and when she refused, he decided to marry Jackie. Joy's countersuing Jackie for lost wages.
Start with you.
Your Honor, this is my husband, James. We have a great marriage. Our biggest challenge is actually Joy. It's his ex-girlfriend. The best thing that came out of their relationship is they do have a child together. He's 12 years old. He does live with us. We've had custody since 2008. She wasn't taking him to school. He missed like 45 days of school in the 4th grade. He missed 1.5 years of doctor's appointments for follow-up that he needed. So since he's been with us, he's been to the dentist, he's gotten his glasses, he's on the merit roll at school now, so he's doing really well. She also has an older son who thinks of my husband as dad, and he's special needs. He's in a residential care facility now, and we go and we pick him up for the holidays and pick him up for weekends and spend a lot of time with him. And that's actually how we came here, is we had him, it was for Christmas, and the kids wanted to...
You're getting to the property?
Yes.
All right, let me allow her to give some background.
Okay.
Judge Mathis, James Hart is my son's father, and we were together for approximately 8 years that we lived together. However, the only reason why they are married is because I would not take him back. Since the couple times that I know that they've broken up, he's tried in his own way to hope that we got back together. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. So now we're faced with this situation here, which I really don't have any communication with Jackie Hart. I always try to communicate with him, the father, or my son.
Right.
So other than that, I really don't understand why we're here.
All right. Did you want to respond to any of the allegations that you allowed your son to miss 45 days?
During that time, I was working 3rd shift. So I left my daughter, who was old enough to get him off to school.
How old?
She was 16 at the time. And she was supposed to be getting him off to school. However, about the time I got home from work, he had missed the bus. So there were a few times where this did happen. As far as the doctor's appointment, again...
Not 45 days?
No, not 45 days at all.
Did you ever get calls from the school saying
Absolutely
your son
not.
is not attending for...
Absolutely not. I will call the school and let them know that he's not coming to school for whatever reason or another. The way the school policy is if you don't call, then this is an unexcused absence. So, however, we both all live in the same city. His dad, unfortunately, we were living in 2 separate sides of the town. I lived west, he lived east. And I was responsible for, again, all my 3 children. Like she said, my older son do have a disability, as well as my 12-year-old son, who is autistic. So I was leaning more towards my daughter for her support while I was at work to make sure he got off to school. Okay. As far as his doctor's appointments and things like that, of course, he missed a couple. But again, if his father felt like I wasn't getting him to the doctor's appointment, he had more than enough opportunity and responsibility to get him there.
And however you all found out about that 45 days, you probably found out about 30.
Oh, I have it. I have the proof
When did
here.
you find out about the 45?
That was when we actually went to court for custody, but I have that report from the school. It also shows all of his grades.
How'd you get his report? Oh, you only find out about his school when you're trying to take custody? That's the only time?
No,
yeah. Dad, in the future, find out how your children are doing in between time. All right? Now, let's get to the property.
Okay.
Let's get to the property you're suing her for.
When we picked up her elder son, Anthony, for Christmas, he spent about a week with us for Christmas. The kids wanted to give Joy jewelry for Christmas for her gift, and I make jewelry. So they wanted to pick some of the stuff that I make. I have pictures. I do craft shows. I do about 10 craft shows a year.
Let me look at them.
Okay.
You say you do craft shows?
Yeah, I do. I do crafts and jewelry. I do hand beading. It's all stones, semi-precious stones.
Right.
So I've got some of my pieces there.
Looks nice.
Thank you. And what had happened is Anthony, the older one, We took the piece out that they picked for their mom, we wrapped it, but then somehow he took the bag, it was a big pink gift bag that had all my stuff in it, and he put it into his bag and took it over to her house. We didn't realize that he had it until about a week later. As soon as I was looking for it, my stepson, the 12-year-old that lives with us, says, well, Anthony took it over to Mom's house. So we called, and she said, yeah, I didn't even know why he gave that to me. I'll look for it, I'll get back to you. She never did. We called, my husband called her about 3-4 times, and she never called us back.
You want to speak, sir? Come on up. State your name.
My name is James Hart.
Yeah, I'm particularly interested about your conversation about the jewelry, but I'll also allow you to address anything else.
Yes, as far as the allegations of me trying to get back together with her, I don't know where she got that from. I have not tried that.
Yeah, we wouldn't know.
But anyways, as far as my son's schooling is concerned, the reason why I got his school records is because she was moving to Atlanta and not letting me know that she was moving. I found out by surprise that she was moving away without even my knowledge. So I
How did you find out? You were stalking her? How you know what she was doing? I'm with you now. What are you getting into your business?
Well, she has a relationship with my brother, a business relationship, and she stated it to my older brother.
What you asking him about her business?
He called me and said, do you know that she's moving out to Atlanta? And I said, no. but I thanked him for doing that.
That's not true.
So I filed emergency custody hearing.
Okay. Let's get to the discussions regarding the jewelry. What is your understanding, and what discussions did you have with her?
Well, after the jewelry came up missing, I called her. My wife said, can you call her? Because my youngest son, who signed here, that he saw the jewelry over her home, at her home, I called her and said, hey, I think you should return this jewelry. And she said, well, when I first talked to her, she said that, I asked her, how did you enjoy your Christmas gift? Because we at this point, I didn't know the jewelry was gone. We didn't know. And I asked her, how did she enjoy her gift? Because we do give her a gift every year. She does not give us a gift, but we do give her a gift every year. Okay? And in this case, it was some of my wife's jewelry. Okay? And when I asked her how did she enjoy the gift, she said that, what am I supposed to do with all this jewelry?
Hold on, now let's stop there though, before we get back to this jewelry. Now, most men, they don't call women and say, hey, how'd you enjoy that gift I gave?
Exactly.
Unless they're trying to get a positive response.
The gift was from my wife.
Well, then why didn't she call? Did you know he called over there talking about how you like your gift?
I mean,
yeah. Did you know he did it in that tone?
no, I'm sure it wasn't in that tone.
Say how you said it again.
Well, I called to find out when I was going to pick up my son.
What'd you say about the gift? What'd you say?
I asked her, did she enjoy her gift?
See that? You see how his voice fell down? You can't tell the intonations in his voice, man. That's what you gotta listen for. Whenever your husband talking to a woman, listen for the intonations in his voice. Because if he's talking like this and then it goes down like that. All right?
It really is a non-issue. We do our very best to kind of be nice to her and keep things smooth.
I know he does. Go ahead, let's move on. We're having a little fun with you. We're having a little fun. But a week later, tell me how things rolled out from there.
When my wife found out the jewelry was missing, she asked me to call her. So I called her and I said, Joy, have you seen this jewelry? And she says, yeah, but I don't know where it's at.
Okay. Let me hear from you about this jewelry, ma'am.
Your Honor, I had spoke to Mr. Hart, and my two sons were going to spend the night over his house for Christmas Eve, and then he was going to bring the two boys back to my home on Christmas Day. So my whole thing is, when they brought the jewelry in, I just, again, this is Christmas Day. There's gifts everywhere, everything. So I look in the bag. I said, wow, where does this come from? And both of my sons yelled out, oh, Jackie told me to bring it to you. I said, bring me all of this jewelry for what? What am I going to do with it? Right. He said, I don't know, but she told me to give it to you for Christmas. So I set the bag down on the floor. After that, I went in my room and I took a nap. I made sure I told them before I went to sleep, when y'all clean, y'all make sure y'all clean up all this paper and stuff and take it to the dumpster. So James Hart called me, like, I'm going to say 2 days later, and asked me had I seen the jewelry. I told him, yes, I seen a bag of jewelry, but boys told me that was for me, and what am I going to do with all this jewelry? So he said, well, do you know where it is? I said, well, let me go check, and I will call you back and let you know. So I went and I checked. The next day, I called James Hart and told him, no, I don't see the jewelry. A month went by before I get a call from Jackie Hart. Joy, do you know anything about my jewelry? I told her, no. I told James I haven't seen the jewelry. Next thing I know, on February 10th, she sends me a text message telling me that she's suing me for this jewelry. So at this point, I don't know where she get it where I did not tell her or call
Let me ask you, what do you think happened to it?
I have no idea. To be quite honest with you, I have no idea. I asked the boys on several occasions, what happened to the jewelry? When y'all grabbed all of the present paper and wrapping paper and everything, and y'all took all the trash to the dumpster, did y'all make a mistake and grab the bag of jewelry? Because it was in like a plastic.
How many of your
bag.
boyfriends had been by that week?
Not a one.
They didn't come by on Christmas?
Not a one.
Oh, you need to quit them, all of them.
I wasn't.
That's Christmas week that they come?
Not a one.
You quit them?
Yes.
That's right. You're supposed to. If they don't come by during Christmas time, I'm just having fun with you again. Ma'am, your counterclaim $616 for lost wages. How so?
Well, I'm missing today and tomorrow.
All right. Yes, ma'am. One last comment.
Yes. The one thing is the jewelry was in a pink gift bag and it weighed about 5 pounds. It wouldn't have just been gathered up with old wrapping paper because all of the stuff was in there, stone and glass. The other thing is every time we've asked
Why do you think the child grabbed all of it when they weren't entitled to it?
Because we had a discussion, you'll pick some jewelry out for your mother, we'll wrap it for Christmas, and the older son, the 22-year-old, is not, he doesn't understand. He doesn't understand a lot. Right. So when he took it over there, every piece was
priced. And when
priced.
Mama said, go and throw the wrapping paper out, he may not have understood a lot then. When Mama said, take the wrapping paper and throw it out, he may have taken the jewelry too, because he may have heard Mama. Mama may have said, why you bring me all this jewelry? So it is conceivable that the child could have said, okay, I brought Mama all this jewelry. She don't want all this jewelry. She say, throw away the paper. She might mean this jewelry too. That's speculation, but let me just tell you, you have to prove that it is more likely than not. That's your burden of proof. It's called a preponderance of evidence. You have to prove that it's more likely than not that she is intentionally withholding your jewelry. And why would she tell you, why do you bring me all this jewelry? That wouldn't be a person that's intending to steal it from you or withhold it from you. A person who says, you've given me too much stuff would readily give it back. With regard to your lost wages, ma'am, I would only grant that if it were malicious. This isn't malicious. They do have reason to believe that you should have to pay for it. Malicious is when someone is doing it just to punish you. They know it's not true. They know you have no culpability. They know it's just something they're making up to cause you some problems, to cause you to lose some days at work. Unfortunately, that's what happens when there are disputes involved and people go to court. And that's why we should always just try and get along. Both your claims are dismissed. I'm sorry, no one proved it, and that's what's necessary to win. Have a good day.
The jewelry belonged to Jackie, and out of good faith, she should have returned it. We get her a gift every year. She received the gift.
You wouldn't catch me dead with that jewelry on me. I don't have no reason to sell the jewelry. I wouldn't even know who to sell it to.
Why, you always claim broke for every holiday for your son. If anytime he needs anything, you cry broke, so why not sell it?